I'd say the biggest roadblock and number one most common limiting belief system has to be the belief that one is not deserving of certain things or certain outcomes. For example, a lot of people feel uncomfortable accepting gifts or indulging in certain things because they believe that they're either not deserving of it or because they're trying to be modest. Whether or not it comes from deep seated limiting beliefs placed in our subconscious early on in life or from the desire to simply be polite, the result is the same. There are many people from cultures in many parts of the world that actually get offended if you don't accept gifts when offered. And you know what? They're onto something. Graciously accepting any gift or any nice thing in your life should be treated as something that you feel you deserve and are grateful for. Now, it's definitely worth mentioning that the emotional energy of gratefulness is the secret sauce to manifesting and attracting happiness and abundance in your life. And I've mentioned this in my previous videos also. You may ask, what's wrong with being humble or refusing gifts or payment for something? I mean, that by itself is pretty harmless and benign, right? It's only really an issue if at the root of your disallowance lies the inner belief that you lack something, therefore you don't deserve it, or that you didn't do anything to deserve it, which leads me to the key point of this video. I'm going to ask you something. Do you regret anything you've done in your life? It's not a trick question either. You just need to reflect on it. Have you been cruel, stolen from anybody, been physically or emotionally abusive to anybody? It's time to let go and forgive yourself first. Realize that there is no judgment. The world, God, the universe does not judge your actions, not in the way I'm referring to. The only person that judges your actions ultimately is yourself. That is the reality. If you look at your actions this way, you realize that the only thing preventing you from feeling deserving or feeling forgiven is yourself. Do this, even if you don't believe it, and see what happens. Now, this next part might be easier or more difficult for you. Really depends. But you need to actually forgive the actions of others upon you also. And believe me, I thought I had enough reasons in the past to warrant never forgiving some of the rotten things that people have done to me growing up, going through life. When I finally and genuinely forgave these people, I released all the emotional energy that had been blocking me from receiving. I have zero ill will, anger, or resentment towards anyone, and I'm not just saying that. This process really frees you from that. And you'll see that you have the power to preserve your energy for useful things like self-growth, happiness, abundance, etc. Instead of handing over your power and energy to somebody else, you preserve it for yourself. If you still feel that it's not possible to forgive somebody else or yourself, fake it. If you have enough of an open mind to at least try to fake forgive yourself or others, do it. Simple act of imagining yourself as an outside observer forgiving somebody is enough to make a difference. Don't believe me. Just try it and let me know what you think.